So the Restoration Pillowe was another labour of love for me, and I made this and its companion kit, and just thought nobody will ever want to do this because it's so detailed and it's a lot of heavy stitching actually. I really love the great big flower and the lion that of course represents Charles I, who has lost his head. And this is, I call it the Restoration Pillowe because I believe from the dies and the shapes and the leaves and the style and the tulip coming in that it was actually designed and stitched as Charles II came back to the throne after we'd got rid of Cromwell's son. And that was after Cromwell, when things didn't go very well in the centre of the middle of the 17th century. So you can tell I'm a royalist. So this piece also has a little bit of a Chinese influence in the female ho-ho bird sitting on a branch. And as usual, it's an idyllic scene showing fruits and flowers. But this tweak with having the lion as the king and the butterfly, which often represents the emergence of the royal family, I think that's saying a lot. So I'd love to be able to talk to the designer and the influencer, or perhaps the commissioner, perhaps the person who asked for this to be designed, to see what messages they wanted to convey to the guests that would see this in their house. It's unusual in that it actually has an arched shape, and it was obviously made to fit a piece of furniture. Usually this type of design is on a massive scale, but this is really scaled down, and I thought that was really interesting. But the stitching is still heavy, intense, and the features on this are quite large, but the actual piece itself is suitable for a large cushion or pillow. Now in the kit, oh, I don't like ripping this, but in the kit you have, beautifully wrapped by Georgie and Frankie, and possibly Katie wrapped this one, I don't know, but Katie does a lot of the preparation of our kits as well. So we have two full-time people who run the kit side of things, and we have part-time help as well. So that is your colour range, and I'm proud of that because that is absolutely true to the original pieces. And I bought these cushions, they're pillows, in auctions, and I bought them from two different places, one from the south of England by post over the internet, and the other two in my local auction house, which sadly has closed down now. But I could not believe that I managed to find the set of three. So I think there must be 3 more out there, or maybe 6 more out there, or 12. I don't know. There could be lots, but because it's obviously come from a very grand house. Anyway, the colours in this are fantastic, and I'm getting a bit pink now. I'm excited about them, but actually introducing a little bit of a purpley pink here, which, you know, they weren't really allowed to use unless you were royalty or part of the church. So that's interesting that it's almost towards the purpley colours. And I've seen that particular colour in a bedspread, actually in a stately home, just hidden in the very far corner as though it's a secret, to keep that colour, because obviously you'd be, you know, in severe trouble if you use the uniform of another class. So it's a bit like a status badge in China. It's your clothes and even your furnishings said who you were and what you were allowed to wear or have in your house. So the needles are here with the little beads for the animals and birds for their eyes, but look how much detail you get on this piece. And I think we did a great job here, and Frankie and Georgie and I did the stitch instructions, but Georgie actually drew from my stitching. She drew just about every single stitch. It's so intricate, the drawing of this piece. It's beautiful, and she absolutely caught the expression on the lion's face. I think Georgie did a fantastic job on this particular one, and also with the stitch instructions. So here we go. There's my little friendly lion on the back, and if you look at the instructions, this is the way forward for us. Absolutely bespoke, step-by-step instructions. This is the petal from the top, from the big red flower, and I start you with a background flower and work forwards, which is always the tradition in crewel work. And this is how to work any hummock step by step with lots of colours, and that works very well. And satin stitch and the seeding on the strawberries and on the grapes, and then the little female ho-ho bird, which looks rather ugly actually when you're working it, but when you put the wings on, he's fine. And then the lion, step by step, and working in the order that I stitched it, and then lots of illustrations for his face, because his face really carries this design. Of course, as well as the step-by-step stitch instructions, you get the essential guide with all the details you need to know before you begin, how to set up, and which needles to use, and of course when you finished it, how to do the blocking. Also, you have in scale stitch charts. So that's one half and that's the other half. So it's really clear and in proportion to the piece you're doing.